What is going on, guys? We're moving closer and closer to our fourth map for our Pacific Theater update, the mysterious quote-unquote jungle map, or otherwise the leaked location known as Solomon Islands. Again, nothing official from DICE as of yet. All we really have from DICE is some concept art and a brief clip of the location at the end of the Wake Island trailer from December. That's what we're all kind of waiting to see, is a trailer dedicated to this new map and a Battlefield blog giving us the whole details as well. And even though I would say we're probably still weeks away from getting anything substantial from DICE, we do have some pretty interesting data mine information giving us a little bit more clarity on what exactly this new map is going to be like. Now, as you guys can see from my title, it's looking like this whole jungle map is going to be a bit more than just jungle, which kind of had me having some mixed feelings about this, and I'll elaborate more about that in a second. But let's look at some of the data mine information coming from Temporal. I'll link down in the comments below the full post for you guys to check out. But it seems like we got some details about the map. We see the different game modes like Conquest and Breakthrough. We talked a little bit about the battle pickups and how I feel about those playing a big role for this map back during the whole Wake Island trailer release. However, here we have something a bit different that I want to focus on today. We have a bunch of location names that appear that Temporal has data mined out. These are the type of names you'll see on your minimap describing the locations of different areas as you move along the map. So we see certain descriptive names here like Jungle Base, Jungle Road, Jungle Crossroads, Jungle River, Deep Jungle, line up really well with this codename Jungle that this map was given. But then we see some interesting stuff here like Daybreak Beach, Fisherman's Beach, Harbor, and even other things like grassland. So it's appearing, if this information is correct, and as you can see from Temporal's message at the bottom right, that we should all take this with a grain of salt, that this whole jungle map is going to have something probably close to beach landings, if not at least have a beach on the map. And there's even going to be certain places that are going to be open areas on the map, since we have places like grasslands available. So it isn't going to be a full-on dense jungle from these descriptive names here. Now, I understand some people might conclude all this to be part of a jungle, since you can have grasslands and beaches right next to a jungle, but from the code name and the brief clip we got from the trailer, it was leading me to believe we were going to have pretty much a full-on 100% in this tangled vegetation-like landscape, something kind of similar to an Argonne forest from BF1. Marco had pointed this out to me in my last video about the Solomon Islands, which to me sounded pretty awesome, since I'm a pretty big fan of Argonne forest from BF1. So I had a little bit of mixed feelings about hearing this data mine news, that there's a bit more than this jungle to this map. But I re-pulled up these images from the Guadalcanal campaign. This is the major island of the Solomon Islands. It's the one I think they're focusing on for this map, since we can see here in this image of the beach landings. And after re-looking at this image and seeing just how close the beach is to the jungle, it actually kind of made me realize how badass this map actually could be. Like, the contrast of having such an open area as the ocean and then suddenly being consumed with this thick jungle gameplay, to me actually sounds pretty epic, rather than just being 100% jungle map. Now, don't get me wrong, I would prefer the majority of the map to be jungle, and you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below what you would prefer. But just from the descriptions alone of these locations, it does feel like the jungle takes up about a third of the map. So we'll have to see how dense it actually ends up being, or how the description like the deep jungle actually takes up the majority of the map, since I don't think all of these descriptive locations are going to take up equal portions of this new map. I also want to say the elements of the beach, and especially the river. Like, how cool does it sound to be going down this jungle river in your dinghy and having that guerrilla-like warfare with enemy players jumping out of the edge of the jungle right at the river bank, and they're just laying shots onto you. And hopefully that this river is like an advantage for you, since it would make it easier for you to get to like point A to point B, since again it's a dense jungle, right? It would be, you know, easier going down the river and jumping in your dinghy and doing something like that. So that idea to me makes this map seem so epic. So far, out of the 3 Pacific maps, I've had a pretty good time playing with them. Yeah, they might not all be perfect with the different game modes, like how Iwo Jima plays on Breakthrough to how it plays on Conquest, but nevertheless, these maps have been not all too bad, actually. And if this data mine information turns out to be true and I'm visualizing this stuff correctly, we may hopefully have the best map coming out next. But what do you guys think about this leaked information? It still makes me curious how vehicles will play a role. I'm pretty confident we'll be seeing the dinghy again, but it makes me curious if you'll be able to drive a tank in this deep jungle locations or the areas that were described from this leaked information, like the canyon passage. I'm thinking that'll be the case, possibly something similar to how it was with the caverns in Iwo Jima, where you could drive a tank in them, but you didn't have much mobility as it was a very narrow fit, and yeah, it wasn't going to give you all that great of an advantage if you're just going to go roll a tank up in there and think you're going to, try to cap a base pretty easily. So, but you guys have to let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. I'm hoping it turns out even half to how I'm visualizing it right now, because it seems pretty epic in my mind, but hopefully it translates that way in reality here coming up soon. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Living, and I'll catch you guys again later.